Good morning, Hope Church. Good morning. I'd like to say thank you to Ernesto and the band for leading us in worship this morning. I appreciate it. My name is Jim McLaren. I'm one of the pastors who helps out around here, and I'd like to know who you are. I know most of you, but some of you I don't. So on the count of three, could everybody say your names? 1, 2, 3. Ryan. Well, that's great. I know you all so much better. I'd like to say thank you to Pastor Joel for giving me the opportunity to bring the message this morning. He may not be saying you're welcome by the time we're done, but we'll see how that goes. Anybody here been married for 50 years? 50 years? 50 years? Anybody? 50 years? Nobody's made it that far? More than 50 years? Brian and Karen, how long have you guys been married?
49.
49. 49. Okay. Anybody married for 48? Okay. We're going to go with 49. When I work with couples who are going to get married, I say to them, the goal of marriage is 50, 55, 60 plus years together. The goal is not the dress, or the ceremony, or the cake, or the reception, or even the honeymoon. It's a lifetime together. That's what God told us about marriage way back in Genesis. Remember, he said it's not good for the man to be alone. And so he caused the man to fall asleep, and he took a rib, and out of that rib he formed a woman. And when the man saw the woman, he said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man." That's why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Living together, working together, loving together for a lifetime. I once asked a couple who had been married for a long time, what was the most difficult year of your marriage? And they said to me, this one. And I kind of looked at them, and they explained. Each year of our marriage has been the most difficult. Sometimes it's not easy being married. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. In marriage, you put together a man and a woman. Men and women are from different planets. Right? What was the title of the book? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Yeah, we approach life, men and women, completely differently. Completely different approaches to finances, to sexuality, to childbearing, to emotions, everything. Completely different. And on top of that, men and women have different languages. Men have to learn how to speak women, and women have to learn how to speak man. On top of that, most of us marry people who are very different than we are. See what I'm saying? Opposites attract. Yeah, so in my household, if there are two different ways to accomplish something, I will instinctively do one, my wife Gail will do the other. It never fails. Completely opposite. So much so that sometimes I wonder, what is she thinking? And for her part, all the time, she's wondering, what am I thinking? Throw into that I was raised out in the country with cows. She was raised in the suburbs with people. Two completely different approaches to life and raising a household and all that. On top of that, in-laws, which reinforce what life is like here and what life is like here, and all kinds of conflict. And we've not even gotten to children yet. You know what happens when children come? No time, no energy, no nothing. It's just soccer practice, band practice, choir practice, off to school, back to church. And then working hard to make all the money to pay for all the stuff that the kids do. I'm tired just remembering that stuff. And then the wife and the husband each bring their own baggage into the marriage, right? Their own issues, unresolved stuff, personality flaws, bad habits, poor coping strategies. And then there's sickness, health troubles, job pressures, money problems, and the pressure just kind of ramps up. And we wonder, how in the world are we going to get through all of this together for 50 years? And there's the times when she's disappointed him, and he's disappointed her. And we think, how do I cope? And we turn, or want to turn, to the time-honored tradition that is nearly as old as marriage. Did he leave us? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Time-honored tradition is nearly as old as marriage, and it goes like this. The craziness of marriage is driving me crazy. I just need a break. I just need some peace. I need some comfort. I need some solace. I need somebody that understands me. I need somebody that gets me. I need a break from all of this. And there she is, looking mighty fine. And there he is, with kind words. An affair. That'll give me a break. That'll help me cope with all the stuff that's in marriage. You know, just a little pleasure, a little excitement, a little somebody who understands me on the side, be with anybody except with her, except with him. Just a break. And at this point, God has something to say to us. We've been in the Ten Commandments, looking at the good life. This is commandment number 7. When Joe asked me if I'd like to speak about commandment number 7, I said I would love to. I've just never had the opportunity. And commandment number 7 is this one. God says, you shall not commit adultery. Who knew? Who knew that that's not a good coping strategy for marriage? Who knew? Why would God say such a thing? And just what is God thinking? Well, God elaborates. We've got to go all the way to Proverbs to find it, but it's there. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Turn your ear to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion, and your lips may preserve knowledge. For the lips of an adulterous woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is as bitter as gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the ways of life. Her paths wander aimlessly. Some translations say her paths are crooked, but she doesn't know it. And the same is true for an adulterous man. What God is thinking and what God knows is that if we go into an adultery, if we enter into an affair, it's going to trash our lives. It starts out well. It's exciting. It's wonderful. It's satisfying for a while. But then it all goes south. And it will destroy us, our spouse, our family. And if we survive, the work to repair the damage done is far greater than any pleasure or excitement or satisfaction that was gained in the experience. Who knew? I mean, it looks good going in. Who knew? Well, God knew. And that's why he shares this with us so that we don't trash our lives in that way. If an affair, if adultery is not a good way to deal with the pressures and the struggles and the conflicts of marriage, then what do we do? If God says this is not the way to go, Does he have another path? Does he have a way that will help us deal with it and cope with it? Well, I believe that he does. And I believe that we find it in the words of Jesus found in Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 to 7. Anybody interested in finding out what those are? Yeah? Okay. Well, let's dig into it. We're going to take it a couple of verses at a time. And it begins with Jesus saying, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge your spouse, in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." In these words, Jesus is not talking about our ability to determine whether an action is good or bad, right or wrong, appropriate or inappropriate. He's not talking about that. He's talking about what happens next. So, my wife got in my car and ran some errands. She came back. It was all good. Next time I went to get in my car, I hit my head on the roof and I banged my knees against the steering wheel. She had not put the seat back. Now, we can talk about whether that was good or bad, right or wrong, appropriate or inappropriate. My answer is it certainly wasn't appropriate. However, that's not what Jesus is talking about. He's talking about what happens next, which is what story am I going to tell about why my wife didn't move the seat back? If I tell the story, she's lazy, or she meant to do that, or she's dingy, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to act out that story. And I'm going to treat my wife in that way. And when I treat my wife in that way, what is she going to do to me? She's going to respond in the way that I treated her. Right? For the way you judge others, you'll be. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Now, if I tell a positive story about my wife not moving the seat back, such as, yeah, she didn't get much sleep last night. She just forgot. Or her cell phone must have rang just as she was getting out of the car. Maybe it was one of the kids and she got distracted and just didn't do it. Most of the time she does. I know that she means well. And if I tell that kind of story about my wife, then I'm going to begin to act that out. And I'm going to treat her in good ways, and she's going to treat me in good ways. Okay? Now, none of this has anything to do with what happens when I get out of my wife's car. Nothing at all. Now, let me ask a question. What kind of story are you telling about your spouse? What kinds of stories do you tell about your spouse? When your spouse disappoints you, when your spouse makes life difficult for you, when your spouse disagrees with you, when your spouse says no to you, when your spouse questions your judgment, what kinds of stories do you tell about your spouse? If we're telling negative stories, we're going to cause tons of trouble for ourselves. But if we can find a way to tell positive stories or to give our spouse the benefit of the doubt, then things will go well for us. And if you say, well, you don't know my spouse. The negative stories that I'm telling are exactly accurate. If you knew my spouse the way I knew my spouse, you'd be telling the same kind of stories. Well, let me challenge you to test your stories. Next time you find yourself telling a negative story about your spouse, go to your spouse, set your negative story aside, and ask your spouse, when you did this, what were you thinking, or why did you do what you did? I'm curious, I would like to know. And the story that your spouse will tell about why he or she did whatever it was will be something that never occurred to you. Positive stories about our spouses. So, Jesus says we want to cope with marriage, to get through the issues, to get through the struggles, we've got to check our stories. We've got to tell positive stories. Okay, you ready for the next part? Next couple of verses. Jesus said, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your spouse's eye? I'm sorry, maybe this is brother. Speck of sawdust here. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your spouse, brother, how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see more clearly to remove the plank from your spouse's, brother's eye. I need to say a couple words to Jesus here. Jesus, I'm not sure I like where this is going. You see, Jesus, in my marriage, the problem isn't me. It's her! I'm doing everything right. She's the one that's messing everything up. It's not that I have a plank in my eye. I've just got sawdust. I see clearly everything that she's doing. She's got not just one plank, but a bunch of planks, a whole forest full of planks, and I hardly know where to begin. Jesus, you can't say that I got a plank in my eye. You don't know my spouse. She's fill in the blank. Or he's fill in the blank. Jesus, for his part, just smiles back at me, nods his head, and says, yeah, that's right. You can't see it because there's a plank in your eye. Once you get the plank out of your eye, you can see what it is I'm talking about. So, a couple of questions to help us roll with this. When my spouse does something that annoys me, disappoints me, causes me to be angry, why do I have that reaction? If I respond, well, any sane person would respond that way when this is done. That's not an answer. Why does this action upset me? What is it about me that causes me to go off when this happens? What buttons in me is this pushing? What issues in me is this rubbing up against? What does this action do in me that causes me to be uncomfortable? What does this action do in me that causes me to look at something in me that I don't want to see? What issues in me does this action bring up that I need to deal with? And the second question is, when my spouse does something that causes me to be upset, what is my reaction? Is my reaction worse than what the initial action was? So, I knew a man who, when his wife disappointed him, upset him, or caused him to be angry, wouldn't speak to her for weeks. Weeks! Now, whatever it is that she was doing, nothing compared to him not speaking for weeks. So when my spouse does something that upsets me, that disappoints me, that causes me, how am I acting? Are my actions, my reactions, even worse than what hers were? Got to deal with that stuff. Jesus talks about removing the plank. I call it board removal. I got to take the board out of my eyes so that I can see what's going on more clearly with my spouse. One of the things that I've learned about marriage is that no matter how hard we try, no matter how much pressure, no matter how much influence, no matter how much pleading we do, we cannot change our spouses. My home friends, no matter how hard we try, we can't change our spouses. But I'll tell you this, it's much safer to try to change my spouse than it is to deal with my own stuff. And so I put all the energy in trying to change my spouse because I'm scared to deal with what's in here. But if I can't change my spouse, and I don't change myself, nothing's going to change in the marriage. The only way to get change from marriage is I can't change my spouse, is to change me. And when I change me, then the marriage changes and my spouse changes. It takes, how many to tango? 2, right? It takes 2 to tango, it takes 2 to play the game. And if I don't dance, or if I dance differently, then my spouse responds to what I'm doing differently. I have to change in order to get change in my marriage. There was a woman that I knew, fine Christian woman. Her husband, not so much. He would go to church with her, but had no interest at all in the God thing. Just wasn't a part of who he was. For years, she prayed for this man to come to Christ. For years, she enlisted others to pray for his salvation. And for years, they faithfully prayed for him, and no progress. No progress at all. Years and years of this. And one of those years, this woman attended a study on the Sermon on the Mount, the words of Jesus in Matthew 5, 6, and 7. This is the tail end of it. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus talks about anger. And during the session on anger, as we were talking about anger, she had a revelation. And you can see it happen to her. She suddenly sat up straight, her eyes went wide, her complexion changed. And she said to us, I'm an angry person. I didn't know that about me. I'm an angry person. I'm angry that my husband hasn't come to Christ. I'm angry that my home life and my marriage haven't turned out the way that I wanted them to. I'm angry that my kids are more like my husband than like me. I'm an angry person. I need to deal with that. And she went out and dealt with it. A year later, I received an invitation from her husband to come to his baptism service. She dealt with her anger. It changed the dynamics of the marriage and of the household and freed him to be able to respond to a friend's invitation to come to a men's group, and then through that came to Christ. We can't change our spouses, but when we change ourselves, then the whole thing changes. Now, she didn't go into dealing with anger saying, you know, once I deal with my anger, then my spouse is going to get his act together. She went into dealing with her anger because she needed to deal with the anger. And as a result of that honest effort to deal with her anger, it freed her spouse to change. So, question. In my life, are there issues that I need to deal with that I've not dealt with? Are there things unresolved in me that I need to resolve? Yeah. This isn't easy, is it? The affair was a lot easier, but it didn't move us any closer to the affair. But this stuff which is difficult, which Jesus gives us, helps us work through the issues so that we can get closer and we can make it through life together. You ready for the next couple of verses? I mean, after this one, I'm not sure I'll go on. Okay, the next one, Jesus says something real strange. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. What in the world is he talking about? Anybody grow up with pigs? Across the street from where I grew up was a farm, and they had some pigs. I learned early on about pigs. They only value two things. They value mud, and they value garbage. If it's not mud or garbage, the pig isn't interested. Now, if I take a pearl, which is very valuable and precious to me and worth a lot of money, and toss it into the pig pen to the pig, what's he going to do? He's going to ignore it. Why? Because it's not mud or garbage. And if I say to the pig, hey, that's a pearl, that's precious, it's valuable, pay attention to that. Pig just snorts and keeps digging in the mud. So I think, well, maybe I didn't get the pig's attention, so I'm going to give him a milk pearl, but this one I'm going to throw at him to get his attention. And it hits him. And he looks around. I thought, good, I got his attention. Now I'm going to throw another one at him and tell him again how valuable and precious and important this pearl is. Now, does the pig get the message? No. If I throw another one at him, what's he going to do? All he knows is that someone's thrown something at him and he doesn't like it. So he's going to turn and he's going to charge me. What does this have to do with marriage? I know exactly what it is my spouse needs to fix her. And if she would just pay attention to these pearls of wisdom that I have, her life would be so much better, her problems would be gone, and she would be able to breeze and coast through life. Now, when I share these pearls of wisdom with her, she's not interested. Can you believe that? She's not interested. And so I have to give it to her again, and again, and again. Now, on her side, she's thinking, where is this coming from? I didn't ask for this. He doesn't understand anything at all about what's going on from my end. If she's not going to receive it, even if I'm right, she's not going to receive it. It's my problem, not hers. Have you ever received free, unsolicited advice? Yeah, I run from those people. I run from those people. We can't fix our spouses. We can't fix our lives. We can't change our husbands. And Jesus is telling us, no pearl pushing. Don't fix, don't change them. Deal with our own stuff. Now, let's imagine that I've checked my stories and I'm telling positive stories. And let's imagine that I've done the board removal work. I worked on some issues. I gained some clarity about my life and about my interactions with my spouse. I'm not trying to fix her, but I need her to change. I need her to do something different. What do I do, Jesus? And his next words are ask, seek, and knock. Asking will be given to you, seeking you will find, knocking the door will be open to you. A lot of times we apply these words to prayer and to our relationship with God, but Jesus means them for our dealings with each other as well. So ask, seek, knock. So I go to my wife when I need her to do something different, and I ask her. I don't tell her. I don't demand. I don't command. I ask. And the ask goes something like this. I need some help. Would you please? No manipulation. You can set up a question to be very manipulative, but no manipulation, just simply, I need some help. Would you please do this? And if I ask in that way, she's going to respond, yes, I can do that, but I need you to do this. Or she might respond, no, and the reason I can't is because of this. And if we go there, we're able to negotiate. And the verb tense here is ask and keep on asking, seek and keep on seeking, knock and keep on knocking. And the asking needs to be done repeated times. And if I ask and I can't get there, then I need to take what I learned from that ask and her response and go back and check my stories. Does this raise any more issues that I need to deal with them, and then come back and ask again. And as we ask, and as we negotiate, we work through the issues. Now, it's difficult, but gets us there. In order to do it, we're going to need to do something else. We're going to need to get help. A lot of us can't see the stories. A lot of us can't see the issues, and we need someone to help us. We need someone to help us see them. Carolyn Rodecker does counseling. She does married couples. Go see her. Go see somebody else if you're hung up and you can't find a way to go forward. The other place to go for help is there's a third party in marriage. His name is God. He'll help us. In fact, He'll help us this morning. As you think about your marriage, is there some place where you need forgiveness? Ask God to forgive you. Is there some place where you need to forgive your spouse and you just don't seem to have it in you to do it? Ask God for the strength to forgive your spouse. If adultery has been a part of your history and you're in the midst of it now, ask for forgiveness. It's not an unforgivable thing. God will forgive and God will help you forward. If you're at the end of your rope with your marriage and with your spouse, and if you're on your very last work and you don't think that you can handle it one day more, ask God for strength. He'll give you the strength. He'll give you the strength. If there are issues that you need to deal with, and you know it, but you've been afraid to, ask God for the courage. He'll help you to change. You see, He's in this with us. And He's not going to walk away from us or abandon us no matter how much we struggle. He's in it with us. And His love never fails. And if we ask, He will help. And He will restore marriages. And He will give us hope. And He will help us to go forward. Can we pray? Can we talk to God about whatever it is that's been going on? Let's pray. Our Father, we thank You for marriage. We thank You for our marriage. We thank You for our spouses. Father, when we married them, we thought they were the most wonderful person on the face of the earth. And things have happened that have messed that up. We ask for Your forgiveness and for Your help. In these moments of silence, if God's put something on your heart, or if you came in here carrying something, talk with Him about it. Ask for help. Ask for forgiveness. Ask for courage. Ask for strength. Thank You, Father, for hearing our prayer. Thank You for sending help. Thank You for sending forgiveness. Thank You for sending strength. Thank You for sending courage. Please renew our love for one another. Please restore our faith in each other. And please give us hope that our tomorrows can be better than our todays. In the name of Jesus, who travels the road of married life with us, we pray.